Live, local. This is Fox 12 Now.
And look at that shot right there. It is looking very nice in Portland right now, and I'm sure wherever you are, as we mentioned before, watching us on your app, on your phone, as you're out there enjoying that weather. That's what, we appreciate everybody doing.
Man, it's beautiful out there.
It is so nice out there. Hello, this is Fox 12 Now. I'm Greg Dibbler, and thank you for joining us. We are live streaming on our website, our apps, on Facebook and YouTube, so lots of places to find the show. I always like to remind everybody of that, but if you do watch this show regularly, you know that Thursdays at 1:30, almost every week, we're gonna be joined by Eric Goranson from Around the House Northwest.
Thanks, brother.
Thank you for being here. As always, good to have Eric here in studio with us. And today, we are gonna get a preview of this week's Around the House Northwest, but also we're gonna be talking about smart home tips and tricks. You know I love technology.
Yeah.
That is something that I always want to learn more about. And anything that can do work for me around the house or make it easier for me or anything like that, I am all for it.
Yeah, it is super cool. And there's so many things out there. It's getting better and better. But one of the biggest problems people have is like internet speed and things hanging up and things not working as they are. And I wanted to start out with some tips for that first.
Okay.
First off, it really seems that none of the internet providers will come back and get a hold of you and go, hey, you have old equipment.
Yeah.
They just don't call you and do that. Never happens, right?
No.
So find out what you have and see if it's the latest stuff. Sometimes it's just getting online, talking to somebody at their help desk or whatever, and for free, usually they'll send out brand new equipment. Because if you've got the old stuff, you could have stuff that's 5-10 years old, and you're running at this slow speed, but you're paying for a speed that you're not getting.
Right.
And it's only because you have old equipment.
And that equipment can't handle that speed to begin with. And
No.
as you mentioned, they're not going to probably go out of their way to let you know about
Usually,
that.
not usually. I mean, it usually takes a service person coming out and going, hey, I got new stuff in the truck. Let me fix that for you.
Yeah.
It's about the only time that happens.
Yeah.
So staying on top of that, because many times what happens is if you jump on your desktop, your laptop at home and go, hey, speed test, and do a speed test, and you're like, well, that's not what I'm paying for.
Right.
You want to make sure and do that through your router and see if you could figure it out. But many times, it's just old equipment that you're dealing with. And second of all, let them know at the whoever your internet service provider is, because they might go, yeah, wow, we tested, something's wrong out there. You might be thinking, oh, it's just overloaded, I'm using too much stuff. Rarely that's the case. Could be a squirrel or anything else that's gotten into stuff.
Yeah.
I've assumed for too long that I was having a couple years back, and I had a squirrel that ate into the line and trashed it, so I had this reduced speed, and I was fighting it. I'm like, why was I fighting it?
Yeah.
I'm paying for it. So
Right.
call them and make sure that you got that up to speed first. That's the easiest thing you can do. And it usually doesn't cost any money either, which is nice.
Yeah, that's great. So definitely check on that and do the speed test. That's a big
one.
Really,
All of a sudden you'll go, wait a minute, that's why I'm not streaming. I'm paying for X, but I'm only getting this.
Yeah.
That's where you make sure and just take a look and see what you're paying for to make sure you're getting it. That's the big one.
Yep.
Next up is after you're done doing that is get a mesh Wi-Fi system. Because you think about it, when you've got that router, it is giving out a signal, kind of like a sprinkler, but if you've got a chimney or appliances, that creates this kind of zone behind it where the signal is lower. And today when we've got smart locks and cameras and all these things that have to go through the outside of the house, make sure you get that mesh system. So what it does is it's like giving you 3 or 4 routers around your house. So now you've got different angles.
Yeah.
It basically kills all those spots that were blind spots before.
Yeah, because I definitely have noticed, before having some dead zones around, trying to put in, some outdoor smart cameras or lights or things like that, and that helps out a lot to do the math.
Yeah, and if you've got like an old 70s house, sometimes they'll have that foil-backed insulation they put in those.
Yeah.
Doesn't help with the signal as well, because now it's having to go through that metal that's in that foil. And just like on the other side of maybe in your garage where the HVAC system is, that's all stuff that likes to slow down that signal. So having that mesh is a big deal. So put those kind of on the farthest points so they can communicate with each other.
Yeah.
And jump onto the app of your mesh Wi-Fi system and look for the fastest one too, because if you've got like the 6E is what I have, it gets me super fast speeds anywhere in the house. I can actually walk out to the street and get the mail and still be streaming something without jumping off my own Wi-Fi, which is nice.
Definitely worth it. So extend that Wi-Fi, make sure that you're everywhere.
And then of course make sure you got passwords to protect it. You don't want the neighbors and everybody else around there trying to get into your system.
Yeah, I've noticed before that not that I am logging on to their Wi-Fi, but you pull that up, you see everybody else's routers. Some of them are just completely unprotected. I'm like,
just lock that stuff down.
Don't do that. Put a password on.
Yeah, lock it down. You'll be good. So that's the next one there. And then really what I tell people is when you're adding smart stuff to your home, figure out a system. You know, am I going to go Zigbee? Am I going to go Z-Wave? Whatever that technology is, use it, because the last thing you want to do is have like 6 apps on your phone or 20 apps on your phone to control things. So if you can do that, one of the easiest ones is like, you know, you can use the Apple HomeKit, you can use, you know, the Smart Things by Samsung and use that, and then connect things and buy through that service, so then you know that all kind of works together.
Yeah.
Because really at night, I've got it now where I can go to bed at night and hit good night, and it turns all the lights off, it locks the doors, everything's done, and you're not going, oh, I should have turned off that light outside.
Yeah, that's great. Yep, run it all through that and set up some routines and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, those are things that make life easier.
Yeah.
Right? So if you can do that, it's just going to be better. And then have some fun with that stuff. I mean, there's so many things that you can do. There's refrigerators now that have cameras inside.
Yeah.
You know, you can set it up so your dishwasher is reordering stuff, your dishwasher detergent when it gets low. I mean, there's a lot of things that are smart. Some of it's kind of ridiculous too. I don't care if my iron's giving me the weather for the day or anything like that, or the rice cooker, but there's a lot of cool things you can do out there to make life easier.
Yeah, and just some fun stuff too, like you mentioned. I just installed a new light switch that's remote control, but you know, I can fade it to whatever I want, and it's just kind of fun things to mess around with. And
yeah, it's nice, and especially with LED lights these days, you could put as many lights as you need in there and then just program it.
Yep.
And it works.
Yep.
And then the other thing too is take a look and see what your service provider offers as well. So some people go, I don't want that much smart stuff because when the internet goes down, my house gets stupid.
Right.
Because nothing works. And you know, like Comcast Xfinity, they have that storm-ready Wi-Fi, which I put on at my house because that's what I have in my neighborhood. And that works really well because it just goes to cell phone when the internet goes down or the power's out, and it uses that cell phone signal, so my smart home stuff still works even when the internet goes out, which is kind of handy.
Nice. So
I got stuff still working when things go bad.
So you can be prepared for that.
For the next ice storm or windstorm.
Right, whatever is going to happen, it's one of those, one of the above. Well, nice. So those are some great tips and tricks. Anything else? Or should
couple things safety-wise. There's a few safety things out there. We've talked about it before, but Ting Labs has that smart home device that you plug in your outlet, and what it does is it monitors your home electrical system, looks for shorts, look for low power, high power, those kind of things, and gives you a report. So you just basically plug it in, hook it up to your smartphone and the Wi-Fi, and it's going to monitor your entire electrical system all the way out to the panel, which is, out to the power pole, transformer, wherever that is. So
that reminds me, because we talked about that on a previous episode, and I actually called my insurance, and they were going to be sending me one. I didn't get that.
There we go.
I totally forgot. So I will be, doing that afterward, because it was free.
Yeah, go before you buy it, check with your homeowner's insurance to make sure, because a lot of them are sending those things out for free because, hey, they see that it prevents fires, and if they prevent fires, that's a smart thing.
Yep.
So that's one there. Another one of my favorites is the Sense home energy monitoring. So basically, you plug it into your panel and hook it up that way, and then it monitors everything with AI, and it notices what your daily power usage is, what the always on is.
Yeah.
And so you can go on, and it self-learns. It knows what, because each signal in your house, whether it's your washer and dryer or the dishwasher or whatever, those electric motors give off a signal, and they know what that is. And so they machine learn what those noises are that each one of these things creates.
And then you can learn where you need to.
Yeah, you can go, wow, okay, well, lights aren't using anything, but why is this pump running all the time, or this circulation pump?
Yeah.
I know people that have jumped on there and saved, $50 to $100 a month because they said something's running all the time when it's supposed to be only running part of the time.
That would be great to know. So you use Sense?
Sense, yeah. So that's a good one. And then there's a lot of other things out there too for water monitoring, in that you can actually mount it on your water line coming into your house. And then it realizes, hey, you had a pipe break, and it'll shut the water off and send you a message.
Wow, cool.
So it actually just turns the water main off. And then that way, if you get a broken pipe, maybe the washing machine the hose behind the washing machine breaks.
Yeah.
And you're out of town or whatever, it'll go, hey, you got a break. Boom, shuts it off.
Great.
So lots of smart things to help keep your house safe like that.
Yep, things that could save you a lot of money and hassle.
Yeah.
Yeah, no matter how you look at it. Okay, well, great. So check on all of those, and I will be doing that. Actually, I'm going to write my insurance company right after this. But I know we need to also talk about what's coming up on Around the House Northwest.
We got some fun stuff coming up. We dive full into spring in this episode here, so we have a lot of fun. So this video here, I took this area of this was just all, landscaped that has not been done. It's just a big, huge pile right there. So I went through and created a rock wall, then filled it in with great topsoil, and then went up to my friends at Wilco Farm Store and basically filled that up with some beautiful flowers and shrubs and stuff. And I show you how to do that. Use this Bobcat right here. This was fun. Did all the heavy lifting for me, which was nice. So we went through and used that, and of course I got that from. I love tool rental places because I don't have Bobcats around the house. It's too much.
I would figure if anybody would, it would be you.
Yeah. So we built that. So it was a lot of fun, and so rented that from my friends over at Park Rose Hardware. But
Nice.
Did that, and so we basically get this whole thing landscaped in. You can see I build that rock wall right there.
Was that a concrete slab underneath there?
That's actually asphalt right there.
That's asphalt. Okay.
That's part of my driveway. So that was off to the side of the driveway right there. So we go through and basically build that. And then the next segment, which is right after this one, for all the people there that don't want to do this kind of a big project, we build a 2.5 feet wide, almost 3 feet wide cedar planter box that's custom. And we basically make it for anybody that has basic tools and of course can sit there and, okay, what can I take home with my Camry?
Yeah.
So cut some 2x4s in half, put it in there, and some 6-foot fence boards and some 2x2s. And I show you how to build a really nice, beautiful cedar planter box. It doesn't matter if you're in a rental, apartment, condo, or a house, you can put it out anywhere.
You can actually use it. And yeah, I like that idea too for anybody who doesn't have a truck or something like that. Figure out how to.
And you don't want to pay $75 to have something delivered either.
So. No. Well, those are, already 2 great things on there. I don't know if you want to give any more away.
Yeah, we can give a few more away.
Okay,
So
all right.
I found a really cool garage fan for all you garage people out there, made by Mule. And so it's this big, huge fan that hangs down off the ceiling that has lights on it as well. So when it's hot and muggy out in the garage out there, you can turn this on. Or if you're doing some painting or making some sawdust and you want to get that out the front door, you can do that. So I test that out and see how it works.
Nice.
And then we also talk about dripping faucets, that exterior hose bib.
Yeah.
What's the best way to fix that? How do you deal with that? How do you fix that from wasting your water and costing you money?
Yeah. So another, way to save money, like you just mentioned right there.
Oh, yeah.
Not wasting water. Well, great.
Got a lot of stuff.
That's a lot of stuff.
Bit of it.
That's a tiny bit. I know every week, there's tons more that are on every episode. Somehow you film all these segments. So that is coming up on this week's episode.
You got it.
Around the House Northwest. And for everybody out there, the when, where, and how to watch.
Yeah, if you missed any of these, you can go back and check us on the YouTube, of course, because we got almost 370 videos up there on the YouTube playlist on the Fox 12 app, of course. But you can check it out there. But tomorrow morning, last week's episode runs at 8 a.m. on Fox 12 Plus, and then 10 a.m. Fox 12 Plus, and then Sunday night at 6 p.m. as well. Same channel, Fox 12 Plus.
So there we go. All kinds of stuff right there and ways for you to watch and check out this episode. Eric, as always.
Thanks, brother.
So good to have you on here. And thank you to everybody who's joining us here too for Fox 12 Now. If there's breaking news anytime between 1 and 4, we'll be here with that as well. But you can watch all of our segments as well on that Fox 12 Oregon app or website or YouTube, Facebook, and check out all the segments that we cover on here. So thanks everybody for joining us. We'll sign off for right now. I'm Greg Nibbler. This is Fox 12 Now.